V1. Rotate.
So quick was that cruise that we're already in our descent now. Hang on 1 second here. Yeah, so we were just cleared for the VOR Whiskey for runway 35, so we'll plug that in. We have the Zulu set up, so we'll plug in the Whiskey like so. And we'll see what that does for us in just a second here. Flight plan, and scroll down. Would help if I had it in plan mode. Okay, so it's basically the same thing. Over Kirkira and then the final into the runway. The missed approach is back to the Kirkira VOR, which we will tune now on. Actually, I don't even need the frequency because the Airbus is so smart. Nav radio.
986 clear for VOR approach. Runway 16 left.
KRK, and there is, what else is there?
986 again.
403, oops, nope, I want the KEK.
VOR approach.
The NDB,
16 left.
which is that one.
Correct, sir. This report short final, runway 16 left.
So that is now set. So let's go ahead and set up our approach page in the perf. So the QNH is 1017. What I like to do when I plug that in is quickly just make sure that it's set as well. I never even bothered to reset that to standard. That's my bad. Like I said, quick flight. What else? We've got the surface winds now 260 at 3, which is basically calm. Anything under 5 knots is calm. The MDA for the VOR Whiskey, I'll have to look that up in just a second. Transition level is 5, so our V approach will be 134 plus, actually it's VLS is 129 plus 5 is 134. And our MDA, according to my charts, is 2000. So that is set. Let's have a quick look at what we're about to do.
Runway 16 left, clear to land. Clear to land, 16 left.
So it's 3500 at the Kirkira VOR.
Aegean 355, descent flight level 100.
Descent flight level 100, Aegean 355. So we're descending now to 100. Have a quick look at the terrain. We are passing overhead. It is green. That's good with me. So it's 3500 over Kirkira, and then 2900 at the final marker, which is what we'll have to set into our MCP here in order to get the final approach like we did into Thessaloniki. Look at the mountains. Wow, pretty terrain. Love it. Tiny short little hop here over to Corfu. Small little kind of not an island, but more of a like, what's that, peninsula kind of thing, jutting out into the Aegean. And over to the northeast, the border to Albania. One of the reasons that the overshoot is such a tight right-hand turn back to Kirkira is that we have to avoid Albanian airspace on the way back out. So interesting little tidbit about that. Did I put the seatbelt signs back on? I did not. Let's go ahead and do that. And now we wait. you believe that in Greece I actually had to turn on the anti-ice? So the TAT is rising. It's currently +3. But we were going through a little bit of precip here.
Aegean 355, descent flight level 80.
Descent flight level 80, Aegean 355. So that's it. So as I was saying, we were going through some precip here in the form of this small little cloud layer, and when I turned them on, just before entering the clouds, the TAT was at -3. So yeah, absolutely, a little bit of anti-ice on the way down. I just turned on the engine, not the wing anti-ice. Not really afraid of. Not really afraid of any precip accumulating on the wingtips. On the leading edges, rather. Bit of terrain on our way in. Should be fine. It's mostly to our left-hand side. A little bit underneath. If we have a look here, it does kind of just taper off, and then we hit the coast, and then there's the peninsula for Corfu. Albanian airspace kind of comes out like around here, juts out a little bit. That's why the right-hand turn and back to the VOR for the mist. It's not really due to the terrain or anything like that. It's more an airspace issue. Just coming past the last set of clouds. I think the TAT is now, yeah, it's +7, so we can go ahead and ditch the anti-ice. I just kind of like sitting here in the flight deck and watching these clouds go by. It's absolutely just over the terrain and the valleys and the peaks. They're not what I would call, you know, mountains like I like flying over the Alps kind of thing. But, you know, it's impressive in its undulation, if you will. And just the different, you know, valleys and crests and peaks, and it's just absolutely stunning. We are rocking around here, so it's a good thing I turned on the seatbelt sign, because we are getting thrown about a little bit. That's probably due to the convective air around these mountains, as I pulled that from my knowledge base. But yeah, you know, anytime over your low over kind of undulating terrain like that, the air tends to, you know, swoop all around, and you get updrafts and downdrafts and all that good stuff, and it's basically convective air, so hence the turbulence. We are catching up to our descent profile now. We are only cleared down to flight level 80. A little bit of buffeting. Yep, seatbelt signs are on. We're good. As we pass over these last ridges.
Aegean 355, descent 4,015 at 1017.
Down to 4,01017, Aegean 355. Leave it managed, as a matter of fact. Just let it follow the profile down. Ooh, a little bit of a gust there, huh? Might have to do with the clouds as well. Look at that cliff face. The terrain is just so awesome here. Alright, keep it together, Airbus. Keep it together. You can do it. Alright, coming up to about 15-20 miles to go. And we can tighten this one up as well. There we go. Nothing painting on the weather radar, which is what I like to see. And as I mentioned, the mountains and the terrain kind of just...
Aegean 355, descend 3,500 feet, clear to VOR Whiskey approach.
Down to 3,500, cleared for the VOR Whiskey approach, runway 35, Aegean 355. Alright, so coming up also to our deceleration point, which is where the aircraft will automatically slow. Let's see if we can see anything off the right-hand side. Cloud's in the way. Damn cloud. Hang on. We're passing it. So the field should be... so if we follow... Can we see the other land mass yet? Not quite.
Thank you for the great service.
So,
and have a great evening.
basically, the field should be somewhere around there. There-ish. Thereabouts. Might be even a little bit more towards our 2 o'clock position. Anyways. No matter. Whoops, not what I meant to do. So shiny switches back on. All of them. Seatbelts are on. My favorite button in the flight deck. Airbus style. Deceleration point coming up. You'll see on the speed tape basically go down to a green dot. It basically just activates the approach mode. Watch this. There we go. So approach nav is armed. The final alt is not. We have to be at 2,900. Like so. 2,900. Is that the final alt constraint? Yes, 2,900. So we're below the hash mark, so we can bring out flaps 1. Once again below the hash marks, so we'll bring out flaps 2. What I'll do is we'll speed it up here about 155 knots so that we can descend a little bit quicker. We do need to be quite a bit lower. There we go. Final approach is enunciated. As we come out of this turn here, as a matter of fact, as we go into the turn, we will lower the gear. What did I say about scenic part of the world? Can't see anything in a cloud? Wonderful. You can kind of start to see some of the terrain out there to the left-hand side. We'll off our nose now. I want to take manual control, but I kind of need to see the field in order to do so. So we will wait. Take flaps 3. Conf 3. And we will set our auto brake to low. And we will arm low speed brakes. There we go. Look at this. It's kind of like a little bowl off to our left-hand side if you look at it. Kind of like with the mountain ridges here. Beautiful area. Anyway, I can start to see something in the distance. I'm not sure if that's the field or not, so I'm going to keep it in final app mode. I'll keep the automatics in just for now. We will, however, take flaps full and manage speed. Let the aircraft trim itself out. While I take one last beautiful look at the scenery. That's definitely the field. Got the pappies. I'm happy with this picture. Automatics coming out. Let's fly it down.
Hundred above.
Minimums are at 2,000.
2,000. Minimum.
Landing. So we've got the ADF needle pointed basically directly at the field, which is where it is, so that's good. Flight director's gonna come out.
Aegean 355, clear to land runway 35, wind calm.
Clear to land runway 35, Aegean 355. Pappies are saying a little bit high, but flight director is saying getting a little low. Or not the vertical deviation rather is saying low. So we will arrest the descent just a skosh. And I'm going to adjust myself a little bit to the left, as the field is a little bit to the left. Look at the terrain. Incredible. There we go. Bang on the profile now, vertically. And looks about dead ahead to me. Bring it down to about 800. It is looking a little bit on the high side. I'm gonna
1,000.
keep pushing the nose down a little bit, as a matter of fact. You know, I kind of almost trust the Pappies more at this point. Okay, there we go. 2 whites, 2 blues. You know what? Or 2 whites, 2 blues. 2 whites, 2 reds. There we go. Beautiful. I think that's the hotel we'll be staying at. So, nice view of all of our arriving traffic from our balcony. Hopefully the balcony's on the correct side.
500.
There's a kind of like a bridge. I'm not sure if that's for vehicles, pedestrians, cyclists,
400.
motorcycles, whatever, on short final. Some sailboats, though. That's cool.
300.
I should really concentrate on what I'm doing, but I just love this scenery so much. Maybe it's just a
200.
dam. That might be just a dam. Okay, fair enough. Fair play. You win this round, dam. Water break? Breakwater?
100.
Whatever.
50. 40. 30.
Start the
20.
flare.
Retard. 10.
Retard the throttles.
5.
There we go. Beautiful. Touchdown. Reverse. Decel. All of those good things. $60 knots. Reverse. Manual braking. Whoops. A little bit of diff braking. And welcome to Corfu. What did I... Oh, yeah, that one. So we'll exit here via Bravo. A little bit of braking. Swing it around to the right. Aegean 355 vacating via Bravo.
Understand, actually.
Wilco. Transient master warning there. Not quite sure what that was all about. Airbus doesn't seem very happy. That's okay. Look at the scenery as we come out of this turn. Gorgeous, isn't it? Alright, so that goes there. Strobes go off. Those go off. That goes to that. I'm all over the place on the taxi. Back to the terminal. We'll clean up the aircraft and we'll get parked up. So what did I say about parking? Well, here we go. Okay, so this is 2. Just gonna come back over here to the left a little bit and then follow the guideline in to the right. But it's kind of just in the middle of the ramp, perpendicular with the terminal. I guess that's good for ingress and egress of passengers, but whatever. Alright, follow the marshaller. Follow the marshaller. Swing it around over here to the right. Little bit of braking. There we go. I don't know how GSX handles these kind of offset, weird parking positions. So, you know, we'll just try to keep it on the line and see what they do. And, no, waving this off. You know what? I'm going to come to a stop when I want to come to a stop. Parking brake is set. We can go ahead and turn off the transponder. Yeah, you're never happy with me anyways. I don't care. That's on. So we can go ahead and ditch the engines. I'm going to turn off TrackIR. There we go. Get the APU bleed going. The bacon light can go off. Let's open some doors and take a scenic tour of Kirkira.